Okay, here we are. Tai Chi on a Tuesday. We'll wait for a few people to log in and sign up to it, and we'll crack on. Hey guys, you okay? Just write a little message on the comments to say hello. Hello, Mum. Hope you're okay. Okay, brilliant. All right then, crew. Hi Anne, how are you? You alright? Fantastic. Okay. Let's crack on. Alright then guys, what we're going to do is we're going to find ourselves a nice comfortable place to stand, as we always do. Alright. And just before we move on with the sequence and get moving with this, I just want you to take a couple of really nice deep breaths. We'll call it, say 3 really good breaths. So it's a nice breath in through the nose, and then breathe out through the mouth. And it's basic meditation, it's basic relaxation techniques just to get you back into a really nice level before we crack on today. Hi Rita, alright? So time to just relax, okay? And just to find our way and find the reason why you are tuning in. Is for that relaxation, for that mindfulness. Just to feel comfortable, I think is nice. And it's a lovely opportunity for you just to find your stance, find yourself. And I like to sort of like talk about, just putting life on stop just for a moment. And, because we always live in the past, we always live in the future, think about it. But for us to actually say, no, stop, and let our minds just sit where they are right now, feeling the floor, listening to my voice, feeling the carpet or the floor underneath your feet. It's a really lovely place to be, because we can really focus on the here and the now. And as we breathe, we can feel our lungs expand and deflate. And as they expand and deflate, you can really take this control and this connection to yourself. So live for the moment, live for the now. Feel comfortable and breathe. Okay. We're going to take our fingertips, we're going to start a tapping motion along the head. Just a random pattern. Don't forget your temples, really nice just to give them a little bit of a wake-up call. As we move our way down into the back of the neck, you can either massage here, as I always do, or you can keep the tapping motion going. Up to you as well. Yes, the Pez, how are you doing, mate? You alright? We're going to work our way into the neck, and down the arm, just stimulating, just allowing blood flow to come through to the skin, working up our nerves, our chi energy. And we move up and down the arm 3 times roughly. bit of a cooler day today as well, which is quite nice. As we work our way down the other side for me. Just relaxing, letting the joints relax, letting those muscles relax as well. So we're not looking at holding any tension if we can. Good work. Okay. Let's get these wrists, just going to rotate them. As we just allow the wrists to soften off. Change direction for me. Good. As we take the palm of the hand facing up, take our fingers with the other hand, just pull down for me to get a stretch in the forearm. As we swap sides. Good. And we're going to move into our emotions now. Alright, so we take the thumb as we start rotating the thumb. As we think about worry, any things that are worrying you. And as you feel the pinch of the thumb, these worries, they come alive and then we just throw them away, release them. Moving on to the pointer finger here, this is sadness. Feel that squeeze, feel that pinch, and as we release, everything releases. The middle finger, looking at impatience. Again, release that. Anger is the ring finger. Again, that moment we release, just allow these emotions to release with you. And that pinky is fear. And release. Let's swap hands for worry. Sadness. Impatience. Anger. And fear. Let's continue tapping motion across the chest, tapping into our lungs, our breathing, our heart rate, knowing that we've got our middle dantian or tantian point here, which houses a lot of our chi energy, our emotions, our thought processes. Just waking up this store of energy here. Working our way down into our tummy muscles. Working 2 inches below the belly button to our lower dantian, which is where we're going to spend most of our time engaging with our energy. As we take our emphasis around to the waist and into your lower back. Notice any tight points you might be having, and if you want to spend a bit of time on them, please do. Into our butt cheeks. And with a comfortable rhythm, we're going to work our way down the back of the leg and then back up the inner thigh. outer part of the leg. And finally down the front when you're ready. Good. Give it all a bit of a shake out. I'm going to move into some ankle rotation work here. So this is where we balance on the one leg. So make sure you feel comfortable in that stance as we rotate that ankle. If you need a chair, this is the perfect opportunity for you to, just touch something which will help you with your balance if needed. Change direction. Good, and swap feet for me. Good. Hello, hello. How are we? Thanks for tuning in. Good, change direction for me. Good, as we stretch the top of the foot out, all I'm going to ask you to do is just place your toenails or the top of the toes on the floor and just push your pelvis forward a fraction, and you'll feel the shin and the top of the foot stretch out a little bit. Good for ankle mobility, help you with your standing and your walking. Good, and swap it over. So find the toenails. Fantastic. Okay, give it a good shake out. So let's take our time finding our stance today. Alright, so again, if we take the stance wide, what you'll feel is the strength coming through the legs, the tension coming through these leg muscles, the hips, the knees. Okay, and it's a place where we don't want to be. We don't want to bring tension in. And if we take this stance close, again, it's more of an imbalanced type of stance. It's quite timid. It's quite sort of, so again, we can't really play these gestures from this position. So we always look for something in between, We always look for underneath the hips or shoulders. It's entirely up to you. And if we can get the feet to be parallel, that would be the perfect scenario. But if you have got, knee, hip problems or back problems, and the foot has to pop out, just be comfortable where you are, okay? But an awareness of that is really important. We feel the connection to the floor. We talked about this in the first couple of weeks, where we found the balance of our weight through the middle of the foot. I want you to find that again. And as we soften the knees off, what you'll feel is the feet will just connect or root to the floor a little bit deeper. So you've got this wonderful connection with the floor. The pelvis is in a nice neutral position. Alright? So if you feel as though it's pushed back or it's pulled too far forward, just feel a nice balance where it's even. And now's the perfect opportunity to feel if it is a nice even position for you, because you're in tune with your body. The spine being perfectly stacked, one vertebra after another, all the way through where your head is positioned on top of that stack. And if we continue that line through the top of the head all the way to the ceiling, it lifts our spine so it feels strong. It feels supportive. As we think about the shoulders, they're down, they're relaxed, the shoulder blades are sliding down your back. And then the coccyx, just draw that imaginary line from the coccyx to the floor, and that's where it stays. Okay. Good. If you've got glasses on, we're going to put them in a safe place. We're going to bring our hands up and we're going to start rubbing. This is the start of your journey with a wonderful connection and a balanced stance already. And with the palm of the hand, you'll feel the friction, you'll feel the warmth, you'll feel the touch. As we bring those hands to the face for me, as we breathe and relax and take our meditative state just a little bit deeper. As we take the hands away and just repeat it once again. Feel the warmth as the hands rub, that energy that you're starting to produce. As we bring the hands to the face again, and have this acceptance of it this time, and allow that relaxation and that me time, that personal time, to start taking effect. Good. I'm taking my hands away, put my glasses back on. Okay. And with my stance being really centered and strong, my arms down by my side, I'm just going to do some rotation work here. So I let those arms just flail around my body. Again, find that middle point where you feel balanced in your own time, just stopping it there. As we take the back of the hands, we run them up the middle of your back here, the other side of your spine, breathing in. Breathe out, palms up. Breathing in. Side breath. Getting rid of all this stale chi. One more. Good. Now, we're going to rub our hands again. We're going to engage our lower dantian and our chi energy and replace all the stale chi with some really nice, healthy, free-flowing, nourishing energy now. And as we stand strong and we feel the stroke of every hand, really pay attention to that touch, that sensation. As we separate the hands and just hold them here and open your mind now and just relax, release and feel any sort of sensations you might be feeling between the hands as they communicate and connect with one another. We let them just pulse out and then back into where they were. Again, noticing any sort of different feelings or sensations we might be getting. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes and you're happy with your posture and you feel confident in your stance, it's beautiful to close those eyes and really open up those senses. But if you're not comfortable doing that, please don't. To start noticing there's this point where you're pushing out, there's a point where you're pulling in, and there's a point in the middle somewhere where there's no force. I want you to slowly find that point And hold those hands strong for me. Engaging with the body, engaging with the mind, taking your thoughts a bit deeper to more away from the physical presence. We're going to picture our lower dantian here now. We're going to place the hands towards the dantian without touching, and we're going to pulse in and out like we were doing earlier. But really focusing on any sensations you might be feeling deep in that energy store. We feel the release. We feel that connection with ourselves. Again, let's find that point where there's no force, where you're not pushing or pulling, it's just somewhere in the middle. And once you've got it, we hold it there and just open your mind and relax. How is your body reacting to this? As we finally bring our hands to the side, keeping our focus on our lower dantian, keeping it alive, keeping that energy circulating. As we prepare for our first gesture of breathing. The hands come to the front, to our lower dantian. As we breathe in, we rise. Breathe out and connect. A wonderful gesture to play just to connect with your breath. As we do this once more, just allow your breath to guide it. There's no rush. As we prepare for opening the chest, starts off exactly the same way. And then we open that chest with a deeper breath in. Remembering our weight is even through our feet, the connection to the floor is strong. Our spine is not being compromised, our pelvis is still in a neutral alignment. There's a connection there. So I'm preparing for rainbow dance. Go straight in. Looking at this hand, it's pointing out. We breathe in, shift our weight to the center, and we shift our weight to the other side. Looking at the hand. the feet. Connect with the floor as you shift your weight. As one leg fills, the other leg empties. Do it once more. Come back into center. Connect with our dantian points. As we prepare for separate clouds, as we breathe in, turn the hands away and push out. So the connection to the floor is there. Our engagement with our chi energy is flowing. We feel relaxed. We feel balanced. Now's the time to think about the evenness or the symmetry of the movements. Another area that we focused on quite early on in our journey. And noticing the evenness brings a comfort to your mind and your body. There's no tension. If we do this once more, as we separate clouds. We connect with our middle dantian here for rolling arms. This is our first rotation here, so be careful of this line coming from the coccyx. As we rotate, we want to keep the line on the floor as we open the arms up, shoulders down, shoulder blades relaxed. We come back into our middle and lower dantian. So we connect with the heart and we open, keeping that line connected to the floor as we come back into ourselves. I like to breathe in here because this is quite open. It allows my lungs to breathe as I settle. Rolling arms. Your spine still stacked strong. Just allow it to be the center of the gesture. As we do it once more. As we come back into center. Look at where you're engaging your dantian points. And let the hands come down. And then up for row the boat. We're bending from the knees and the hips here, breathing in. Breathing out as we let the arms just rise above the head with symmetry and relaxation. So we're keeping the shoulders and the elbows soft. Engaging with our spine as we let the arms rise up through the body. One more. As we breathe in, take your time to get there. Don't rush. As you bring the hands down, prepare for lifting the ball. The hand comes across our body, and as it comes across the body, we allow this back foot to rotate, or the heel to lift off the floor, so the hips move through as we come back. As we lift the ball on the other side. The ball is light. It's full of energy. Even though though the gesture seems to be quite guarded because it's coming across your body, when you're actually at the finishing position, your arm doesn't actually cross your center line, so it's still very open. So we lift the ball. One more for me. And as you come back into center, I want you to find your stance where your feet are parallel, you feel comfortable where you are. As we breathe. And if you want to engage with your chi energy here, your lower dantian, ladies, left hand, and then right hand, gentlemen, right hand, then left. Okay? And what you're doing, you're making a physical connection here. And it helps us just store all this energy that we've just released and let flow through our body. And as we hold it here, you'll feel energized, you feel centered, you feel in control. As you start to think about gaze at the moon, looking at the moon, hands come through. Breathe. I breathe out here, and I breathe in here. And my method to my madness is this. When my arms do cross, I'm actually closing off my lungs a little bit. So how can I breathe in fully? But here, I'm open. I can breathe in here. Play the gesture with the breath out. Breathing in here, open, close the gesture by rotating. Do once more on each side. Again, take your time to get there for me. There is no rush. Coming back into center, stand strong as we prepare for pushing palms. Breathing in as we move, breathing out as we settle. Is your weight still even through your feet? Is your spine still stacked? Your shoulders down and relaxed? Are you feeling the movement play with a softness and an easiness? Pushing palms. One more. Breathe in and move, push out and settle. Ready for clouds in horse stance. And I always like to start like we did when we engaged the energy, but just holding this ball of energy in front of us. Picture it. Is it like a bead? Is it a ball of light? Is it a fireball? Is it bubble. But it's definitely a ball of energy. And as we breathe in, this ball expands and stretches as we pull the hands away. And then comes back in to that lovely position we just had. Breathing in and separate. As we breathe out this time and bring in, I want your fingertips to touch. Just feel that moment. They make connection. Breathe in. Breathe out. And as we let the hands drop to our side here now, we position them ready for clouds. We're going to rotate. And as we rotate, we're going to turn the palm of the hands over so I'm dropping something from the top hand to the bottom hand, holding my cloud. And then I turn my cloud over. So the bottom hand comes up inside along my spine, and the top hand just drops to the bottom as we take it to the other side. And when you get to that point where you're rotating and you can't go any further, it's the perfect opportunity for you to turn your cloud to continue it on its journey. Remember our middle dantian, remember our lower dantian. That's where your hands should be positioned if you can. Sometimes the cloud can get too big or too small, depending on where your mindset is at the moment. If your mind is open, the cloud becomes quite big. Or if you're quite closed off or holding on to something, the cloud becomes quite small. If you free the mind and you find that somewhere in the middle, the cloud will be exactly where I want it to be. Taking the cloud along my body once more. As I hold center. I let my hands drop to my side here now. Alright. And we're just going to break for a little bit of a drink. You can either stay connected if you feel really comfortable here, or you can give yourself a shake out, get yourself a drink. Alright, we'll move on to the second part of it. Give your legs a bit of a shake out, release those knees. How you, Drew? You okay? Hi, Claire. And Ellen. Brill, thanks guys. Hope you're enjoying. Okay, so I'm just going to explore my stance, going wide and going close, and then finding underneath my hips, just so I get that mindset right, so I know that I'm balanced. Again, take your time to get there. There is no rush, okay? I'll quickly go through the points with regards to the feet, making sure they're balanced, they're parallel, the knees are soft, the pelvis in a good position, the spine is neutral, got that natural curve in it, the shoulders are down, the shoulder blades are relaxed, and the arms are relaxed down beside your body. With the line coming up through the middle of the head, raising the spine, but also one at the coccyx here, keeping you grounded to the floor. As we make a step, ready for looking at the sky, touching the sea, scooping the sea. We're going to step with this foot first. We're going to shift our weight. Feel how heavy it gets, the connection you have. As we release this one, we revisit this new position. Again, feel the grounding. As we feel for the step, don't just step, just Just make sure you're not committing to it too soon. Just feel for it. The toes are up on the front foot. The arms come up as we just take a little look at the sky. Weight comes onto the front foot as we touch the sea. We scoop the sea. And we let that water just come up and drip all over us back onto the back foot with a breath out here. Breathing in as we move. Helps us relax with the breath. We mentioned it a few weeks back about being able to play these gestures with good posture and good breathing. If we get these two right, the chi energy will flow. And then the two fundamentals of really releasing that nourishment, that healing energy. As we look at the sky, a nice breath out. Breathe in as we journey to touch the sea for the last time on this foot. Scoop the sea. As we find our stance and prepare to step with this foot here. We shift, we release, we fill up, we step, good. As we look at the sky, scoop the sea. If you're doing this in a seated position, again you can really feel the weight transfer on the back to the front foot as well as you lean forward to touch the sea and scoop the sea. Allow that weight to transfer through, be aware of that transfer. Be still supported by your seat. As we look at the sky and touch the sea for the last time and scoop the sea. As we find our stance, ready for pushing waves. A shift, release, and step. Again, our weight is on the back foot, toes are up, palm of the hands up, fingers pointing to the ceiling as we push. Flatten the hands as we pull back in. Noticing how my elbows stay quite low, and as I come back in they're still quite low. It shows that I'm not pushing through my shoulder joint at all. There's a softness in this gesture, but there's also a lovely power to it as well. It's like quite bouncy. One more. As we find our stance and prepare for the other foot, we'll shift our weight. Pushing waves. Feel that softness through the arms, not allowing those shoulders to be compromised through tension. As we do this once more, As we prepare for punching in horse stance, feel the evenness through the feet here. A light fist, palm of the hand up, form a fist on your hip here. Very similar to pushing palms. We breathe in, move, breathe out and settle. Now keeping your weight even. Keeping that spine in a lovely centered position. As we feel the connection to the punching. Feel strong, purposeful, but no tension there at all. One more on each side. As we bring the hands down beside the body, ready for flying wild goose. Always start at the side here. Breathe in and rise. Thinking about the symmetry, thinking about this evenness through the movement, the softness through the movement. Leading with the elbows as they rise, and as they fall, think about the wrists starting to take control. Or thinking about the movement coming from your underarm rather than the top of your arm is quite a nice little thing to imagine, which stops bringing tension through the shoulders and the neck. So think of the underarm and lift it from there, and then control it back down from the underarm. 2 more. As you prepare for rotating the wheel, we'll go straight in. We take the hands away, up above the head. Breathing in as we lower towards the floor. Finding that balance through your spine as you stand. That grounding to the floor as you make that journey to the floor. And catching this at the top. Again, take your time to get there. When you feel gathered and you feel centered, we'll go the other way. Breathing in as we lower. Breathing out as we let the journey take us above our head. A nice thing to consider here as well is the arms never actually cross your spine. They stay on either side of your spine, so you're still symmetrical, you're still centered. One more, so breathe in. And out. And gather your chi by placing your hands on your dantian for me. into flying pigeon. I'm sorry, Rita. And what we're going to do, we're going to step with this foot. So we fill it up first. The weight stays on the back foot, the toes are up, the arms are out. As we journey forwards onto the front foot, close the hands. Make this connection as we breathe in and open that up. Allow the chest to expand. I'm going to do this once more. And as I find myself onto the back foot, I'm going to find my stance. Check in, make sure you're happy and you're settled. As we shift our weight, release, find and feel that step. Arms open and closed. Breathing in as we expand the lungs. One more. Again, find your stance for me. And we start to prepare for marching with bouncing ball. If you need to take your stance a bit wider here, now's the time to shift. Connect with the floor. Remember our spine here, shoulders down. If you need a balance aid, please use it. As we shift our weight, we lift. Alternate hand and foot. Marching with bouncing ball. Really, really good tester for balance and strength. Same hand, same foot now. Stay strong, stay connected. Be aware of where you are. Don't let that mind wander. Stay in tune with your body. For one more. Good. As the 5 elements start with earth, the hands come up for steel or metal as you breathe in and let that expand. And with a breath out, we just let it close down. Feel the softness through the fingertips in the palm of the hand. We're not stretching and forcing this, we're just letting it go. We're releasing. For one more. As we find earth and prepare for water. Water is just a little bit of a knee bend or a bobbing type of motion, as if you're in the sea and you're just letting the current take you. It's a strong strong exercise for the legs and the core, but with that water effect, it just feels soft and free. Go once more as we start with earth here again and prepare for wood. The hands actually touch each other here at the top as we breathe in and let the circle expand and connect with the lower dantian with the breath out. One more. Breathe in and out. And as we touch hands at the top here, we just let them separate for earth as we prepare for fire. Our spine is staying centered and stacked as we breathe in and open and close with the breath out, feeling the fullness of the fire, the energy that the fire can give. An important element to life, to nature, for rebirth. One more as we expand, close down and find earth. We take it to the other side now. Let your mind explore the energy that fire can give. And for one more, as I breathe in and rise, breathe out and connect, make it dense and strong as I find the earth. Hands down as we balance the chi, breathing in, giving ourselves back everything. Bringing that chi energy down to our lower dantian where we can release it or store it. Just giving us back all this nourishment, all this energy, all this relaxation, this feeling of comfort and warmth, this connection. Balance, physically, mentally, and awareness of where you are. So just once more, breathe out and just stand strong just for a moment. And just shake everything out for me, guys, and bring yourselves back. So that drink of water, free up the knees, the hips, the feet. Perfect. Now, I hope you enjoyed that one, guys. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Same time on Thursday, alright, so I look forward to catching up with you guys then. Please leave any comments or anything with regards to the session today. Absolutely fab as always. Thank you ever so much. Stay safe. Bye bye.